Hello and welcome to the Tech Beat. I'm James Preston, your humble tech guide, helping you to navigate the bits and bytes of the World Wide Web and the innovations that abound. This week's Tech Beat includes Netflix entering the world of gaming, Facebook's rebranding to Meta, and French President Emmanuel Macron contacting Australia over submarines. I'll let you know as to whether it went, excuse the pun, nuclear or not. So let's begin our download on the Tech Beat. Netflix, the world's biggest streamer, is making a play at the world of gaming. On Tuesday, Netflix rolled out updates to its Netflix app on Android smartphones, showing what games are available for download. To begin with, 5 mobile games are included for Netflix subscribers. The company is promising more to come, with no adverts in the game and no in-app purchases like many other mobile games. Of the 5 games launching with the service, 2 are linked to the streaming giant's popular Stranger Things series, namely Stranger Things 1984 and Stranger Things 3 The Game. There's also Card Blast, Teeter Up and Shooting Hoops. This week's release is only for Android phones and tablets. Netflix said that the games would also come to iOS devices in the coming months. Apple has previously resisted attempts by other companies to put stores inside stores, particularly around gaming. When Microsoft initially launched its Game Pass streaming service in 2020, Apple blocked the app from appearing in the iPhone App Store, arguing that the roughly 100 games included should all be listed in its store individually. Microsoft eventually resorted to streaming through Apple's mobile Safari browser instead. Despite the delay in reaching Apple customers, Microsoft has become the dominant figure in the game subscription market to date. Its Xbox Game Pass service includes most of Microsoft's own game studio releases on the day they go on sale, many of which can be played on an Xbox, a gaming computer, or streamed over the internet to phones and tablets. What will be interesting to see is whether you can simply allow one of these games to run ad nauseum and have Netflix guilt trip you asking if you're still playing. Well, Netflix, how about you? Are you still streaming? Anyway, from one tech giant to another, and things are about to go meta, quite literally. Facebook has changed its corporate name to Meta as part of a major rebrand. The company said it would better encompass what it does as it broadens its reach beyond social media and into areas like virtual reality. Meta is intended to be part of the metaverse, which, based on Mark Zuckerberg's hour-and-a-half rant on Facebook earlier this week, would ideally have you and I as some form of Pokemon that the rich and influential can capture and then pit us against one another in duels to the death, before then trading us for a shiny Charizard. Yeah, the whole thing was pretty loopy, and again either confirms that Zuckerberg is either a megalomaniac or a straight-up alien. Seriously, I challenge you to read through the manifesto-style posting that he put on Facebook earlier this week. Look through the cracks and tell me that there isn't a desire for complete digital control of our lives. Regardless, the change does not apply to its individual platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, only the parent company that owns them. Alright, I need to go sell my digital footprint to Meta. Anywho, I'll be back in just a moment. Hi there, James Preston for Kalkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Kalkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on the Tech Beat, exclusive to Kalkine TV. Welcome back to the Tech Beat. I'm James Preston, asking you to change your privacy settings so I can slide all this juicy tech content right into your DMs. It's a tech show and I'm shooting my shot. I'm not the only one with scandalous text messages though. The Australian France row over the collapse of a submarine deal reached an unprecedented new low when a WhatsApp message from the French president to Australia's leader was leaked. France's ambassador to Canberra has confirmed that such a message does indeed exist and did so on Wednesday. Emmanuel Macron sent the message to Prime Minister Scott Morrison via tech application WhatsApp 2 days before Australia announced that it had torn up a decade-old multi-billion-dollar contract with France to build a new fleet of submarines. In the message, Macron had asked Morrison, quote, "Should I expect good or bad news for our joint submarine ambitions?" Reports said the leak could have been engineered by Morrison's office in retaliation for the lying charge. Paris has reacted furiously, and Macron added to the furor at the weekend by accusing Morrison of lying to him, a charge the Australian Prime Minister has batted away. In a fiery speech on Wednesday, the French ambassador to Australia, Jean-Pierre Thibault, said the leaking of the private text was, quote, "an unprecedented new low." Geez, if they thought that was a low point, try messaging with Daniel Andrews. If you don't get your pronunciation correct, you'll probably end up with a riot squad at your door. Hooray, Australian politics! Anywho, that's it for this week's edition of the Tech Beat. I hope you enjoyed the show. And until next Thursday, remember to keep your head in the iCloud and take a giga bite out of life.